Hey guys, Blacker Bricks here, back with another video. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be answering a couple of questions that you guys have left on my videos. So, we're going to start with a comment that comes from MN Brickslayer. Now, he said, "Nice work, bud. Very informative. What program do you use for your video thumbnails?" So currently, I do not actually use a program. I just use this awesome free website. It's called photopea.com. And most likely, if you use Photoshop or anything like this should be very easy and intuitive because it is a Photoshop emulator. Now, this is completely free to use. All you need to do is just search up photopea.com, just like I did up here. It does take a while to learn Photoshop. I think you can learn most of the basics in like maybe under an hour or two. It's super useful. You can do all sorts of things in photo manipulation, and it's super useful for making YouTube thumbnails. So I'm just going to show you guys real quick how I make my thumbnails. So first, what you got to do is you have to press on File right here, press New, and then you want to check these dimensions right here. Now you want to make sure that they're 1280 pixels, right there, pixels by 720, because that is the standard YouTube thumbnail size. You can probably also see it somewhere down here. You just press like that, create. It has a nice white background. I mean, you can change it obviously to any color if you like, but I think this is nice because everything that you put on top of it pops out. So now I want to add in a newly rendered picture of my sig fig. So let me just find that real quick. So this is it. I have that cool little image of me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this, just rotate it just a bit, put him in the corner just like that, and then press the check right there. So now that is there. Next, what I want to do is grab a text box, make it nice and big like that. I'm going to change the font to Contra because that's the one I use in all my videos. Just like that. Now I'm going to write out the title of this video. Q and A with Blacker Bricks. So that's pretty small right now, so we want to increase the size of that. Make it nice and big so that you can see it even while you're on mobile. So that is on the bigger side, but we can increase the size of this text box just like that. So we want to do that. We want to just center it nice and even, just like that. Maybe we can even move this little minifigure up a bit. Just like that. So now we got a nice, simple little, oh, sorry about that. Just a nice, simple thumbnail. So if you want, you can do a couple of neat little things. So if you press on that, you double tap on that, you can get blending options right there. Press on that. And now you can add this cool little thing called a drop shadow. So you might not be familiar completely with what that is, but if I press on it, you'll see that it comes up with a nice little shadow. So that's super cool. Nope, I think I might have added two. But yeah, makes it look a lot better. You can obviously change that up a bit if you'd like. But I think it adds a bit of character to the actual image. With text, in some of my newer videos, I have been adding the drop shadow. I'm not sure if it looks the best, honestly. I mean, it's okay. Let's see, I can change the angle. Let's see, do I really want it to be that big? Make it nice and blurry. You don't want it to be like too clear, so maybe just around like 10. Maybe that's too much. Maybe I'll try doing 10 pixels as the size. How about 15? So now we got that nice little thing in the background. Distance, maybe let's bring it just a bit closer. Oh, sorry guys, it's a bit low on battery. Just like that. And just like that, in maybe like 2 or 3 minutes, we have a really solid looking thumbnail. Now all you want to do is press File, Export as JPG. JPEG. Oops. And yeah, that's pretty much how I make all my thumbnails. I don't know about you guys. I find it very quick and effective. It really grabs the viewer's attention. Nice big text. And I would suggest not to use more than 4 or 5 words in your thumbnail if you have a choice. So now I'm going to be answering another question from one of the viewers. Now, this comment comes from Just a Brick in the Bucket, and he commented, "What did you do to strengthen the long portions with no support over the road? Did you use plates underneath? Did that do the trick? I see you added extra supports, but it seemed to be doing okay without them. Can you do another video with more close-ups, maybe explaining everything?" Now, this comment was in response to my Lego City Progress Day 13 video. In this video, I just showed off some of the newest improvements I made in the city, and now I'm just going to be showing you some camera footage of the city and just explaining some little close-up things. Alright, so I'd like to preface this video by apologizing for the not-so-clean city. Currently have a lot of stuff going on here. I'm trying to fit in the Pills pharmacy building somewhere in here. It's not actually sitting on the city right now. It's just sitting on top of one of these road base plates. I have a couple of ducks out here, which I sold to a friend recently. I have the train, which is actually set up pretty well right now. I have this little car over here that I just started working on this weekend. This is my first attempt at a car in the city. So far I have this little chassis sort of thing going on. I really didn't want to use any chassis piece, so right now I just have this little base going on. I think it's pretty cool. It's 6 wide. Let me know what you guys think in the comments if you have any ideas of what I can do going on with this. I have that little nice Batmobile from the 60s Batcave, which looks really, really sleek. Then obviously this part of the video is where I explain just what's going on with the track. So as you can see over here, right, I just have just your standard new style of track. This is not the 9-volt. This is just normal track. This is 16 studs long, each of the straight pieces, and they're really, really secure. But to secure them further, I place these little girder pieces, the 2x10s, right underneath the connection joints. So right wherever it connects, I just place those underneath, so it really keeps it strong. Currently, I don't really have anything else going on underneath those pieces. They're really strong as they are currently. Like what I usually do to just test if it's strong is I just push it down, and even in between where there's no girders, if I push down on it, there's no problem. So that's awesome. Unfortunately, as we continue over here, when we get to portions like this, right, on the turns, pretty much what I did is I placed these little turntables underneath, so those help support this even on an angle. So I'm just going to see if I can jam that in back there. So those are really, really cool pieces for that. They're still pretty sturdy, but you can see that compared to over here, where I push down, it has little wiggle. When I push down over here, it is a bit flimsy. So I tried to add more of these girders. I will place a Bricklink order soon for more of the turntable pieces because I did run out of them pretty quickly. Going over here, it's actually pretty solid overall. But where the switch comes, that's where it really starts to lose stability. So let me just pull out a switch piece because I don't want to pull this one out specifically. I might have an extra over here. So we're just going to open this drawer up. And you see on the switch, right, there's not really too many connection points underneath, unfortunately. There are space for a 2x brick underneath, but it's not very solid. There is clutch power, but in some parts like this, there's very, very little actual brick you can fill in. So it is difficult to connect stuff underneath there. And that is why it is currently one of the most flimsy parts of the track. So we got a lot of interesting sorts of building techniques going on. Here, again, we have a turntable piece right under there, which is connected on a plate right there to this little lattice girder sort of piece. Then going out over here, we have the same sort of thing that was going on over there. Unfortunately, I did run out of these straight tracks. They are super expensive on Bricklink, unfortunately. It seems like no one really has them. And, well, I mean, people do have them. They're just way more expensive than the curve track, which is interesting. You'd think that straight track would be cheaper. Then over here, what I have going on is this little plate sort of setup. It is currently not very stable. It's really just something I just put together just to see how the train works. I will definitely be working on it because we have lots of little things going on over there. That's just studs tacked on top of each other just so that this connects in tight. when I push down over here, it really is not the most sturdy. You can see how it's really just flexing over there. It's really bending the pieces, but it's not the worst. Since I did run out of those turntables, I used a little stud which I centered in the middle of the girders, so that's just to place these curve track on. Over here again, I did use a turntable. It's fairly straight over here. I'll go on to the other side. I use a similar building technique over here. Yep. So we have the studs stacked on top. We have the whole like plate setup that's going on underneath. See if you can get a good view of that. And yeah, over here it's just some of these flex track, the little joints. They don't have too many connections underneath, but whenever they do, I try to connect. So I don't know if you can see that. Just like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for how the track is supported. I'm just going to go ahead and show you how the train actually works on it since I have it on and running. I switched up the whole layout. So we have the receiver, the IR receiver in the back over here. We have the battery box in red, which is concealed pretty well right over there. We have the little battery for the lighting setup. And what else is on this? What else is in this? Now to think about it. The battery, we have the receiver, and then obviously the little motor wheels set up. Sorry about that. It's just down there. So we're just going to turn this on. Oh, wrong way. Sorry about that, guys. So let's see. Hopefully that will work. So we just have the train moving nice and slowly around the track right now. Let me see if I can speed that up by just one. Hopefully it will not get derailed. Speed it up by one. I really want to look into getting a nice little camera that I can place on the train. I've seen lots of awesome videos on YouTube where they just put these little cameras on the trains to give you like a minifigure point of view. Let's speed it up by just one more setting and see how that goes. Oh, looks like I did it the wrong way. So it is going a bit faster now. Hopefully the track will hold up. The front wheels always seem to be the ones that get derailed, unfortunately. I'm just going to put a stop to it before anything goes too crazy. But I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A video. Sorry about that. Yeah, please leave comments and questions on this video. I'd love to answer more questions. Hope you found this video informative. Maybe helped answer a couple questions you had previously. Unfortunately, there were only 2 questions in this video. But I hope they were answered well. I'd love to see more questions from you guys in the future. And yeah, that's about it. See you guys soon.